Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard! Kai Havertz in the Champions League final! Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him, but it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver! Matic takes the net off! Hat-trick hero! Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game!
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
Trevor Chalobah is still looking for his mom. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I am your host Mike, and I'm joined in this virtual room. I've got Chris. Now that's always good. And it is the Monday show on a Sunday. Very rare this happens. And it's not for selfish reasons. It's just because I think we're kind of sick of talking about this game and having to wait another day to just talk about it again. It was a tough one. Oh, Chris, what were your moments, though, of the weekend that's just happened?
Bit of an up and down weekend, to be honest. Girls' game Saturday was fine. Do you know what? I've seen all sides of grassroots football this weekend. So Saturday we won 8-0.
Nice.
Game was pretty fine behaving. That was fine. And then when we was like 7-0 up with like 5 minutes to go, one of the opposition parents told their daughter to break one of our players' legs.
Wow. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so that was good. And then today, girls' Sunday team, we won 6-4.
Oh.
In a game that basically we might as well have not bothered having a ref. Completely lost control of the game. Some of the challenges in the game was absolutely horrendous. I'll send one in the group later. The one on my daughter that's left her now with, we reckon, maybe a fractured collarbone.
Jesus. Okay. Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
One of their parents came on the pitch to confront the referee. So that was good. So yeah, pretty the results have been good, but it hasn't been as enjoyable this weekend it's just not what grassroots football should be about. It's all the bad side that you hear about.
Yeah.
A lot.
Wow.
Which I don't like highlighting because most of it is positive. Like I'd say 90% of it in the 4 years that I've been coaching grassroots girls football, especially, I'd say 95% of it has been positive. It's just when you have weekends like this, you just think there is a real ugly side to grassroots football.
Well, we wish her all the best. Hopefully it's not broken, but if it is, obviously wishing her quick recovery.
Thank you.
That's really shit. That is fucking hell. Wow. My update, I watched Ballerina. That was really good. Really enjoyed that. Very John Wick style. It's a good film. Just, I know I'm a few months late, listeners, but it's worth watching. Cookies were nice, and other than that, watched The Island. No, it wasn't Seal. It was Steelers game. Yeah, that was quite good. So Chris will be not you, Chris, the other Chris. He'll be very happy that Steelers came away with the win there. Other than that, yeah, it's been a bit of a quiet one. So it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. So we'll move to Shevva's shoutouts, because you always drop some mean and usually nice Shevva shoutouts, listeners. I've got Lee B53. Anyone notice how Mikey was finishing the answers at the same time as the lads during the last segment? Now, was that the quiz?
Yeah,
So,
I didn't get that. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to listen back. I'm gonna have to listen back to that. Nels, Enzo needs to break up with his missus again if we want to see him at top form. Mads, another comment from your Danish listener. Oh, where's the sound drop? Where's the sound drop, Mike? Get it in. Enzo Fernandez has been below par the entire season. Doesn't help that he's the slowest midfielder in the league. His decision-making and defensive positioning have been really poor. Is it all on him, or is it Maresca at fault? What is your take? Like Caicedo, Enzo's been run to the ground. We haven't got enough backup. Lavia, unreliable. Asugo out long-term, leaves only Santos to rotate. Not enough options considering the schedule with 2 to 3 games a week. I mean, it's 2 games a week.
I agree.
I love the 2 to 3. I see the point. 7 days. I do get it, but...
Yeah, I do think there's a case now for Enzo and Caicedo to start talking about how much we've overused them and not had adequate replacements. Like, you look at how much Enzo played in the Conference League last year. I mean, we shouldn't have been playing Enzo Fernandez in the Conference League, let's be honest.
Correct.
You know, so it is partly that. It's got to be because, to be fair, last year he was one of our best players.
Well, 100%. Yeah, it's exactly that. You're right. James, next part 7. Oh, I love this. Who would you sign from Palace? For me, Mark Gay. Mark you? No, it's not Mark you. Mark Gay. That's good. Gay. Because he would take our team up a level. I can't say Eze because he's gone. Mateta, he's a goal scorer.
There's a few from Palace, to be honest.
Good team.
Ismail Sarr,
Oliver Glasner.
Mateta, definitely. Glasner, yeah. Adam Wharton, Mark Gay.
Yes, yeah, loads. There is
I
a
think
lot
it'd have to be Gay at the minute, though. I think when you look at our centre back issues,
100%. Crodlington, apparently with you, he was eligible, but we weren't informed until it was too late. You're spot on. That it was true. So that's even more embarrassing that we didn't know that as a club, not as a podcast. We knew this. We knew that. We checked the rules. Peter, the second I heard the Ballon d'Or mentioned and the host asked what they think about it, I just knew Grumpy Chris was going to have something negative to say about it. I had a little laugh to myself at work when the first word out of his mouth was pointless. To be fair to Chris,
it is pointless.
I agree with you because that's the thing. Dembele, was he the best player in the world? Probably. The women's side, I've made my point. Don't think it was Bonmati. I think there was 2 other players that could have got it, but so be it.
I have no doubt, right, that Dembele had a really good season. What I'm saying is that when you do a list of Ballon d'Or winners over the past 20 years, and then said to someone, who's the odd one out here, everyone would pick Ousmane Dembele.
That is a good shout. Exactly. I think some younger listeners probably wouldn't even remember when Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or. That's still that happened, and because he was the best, he was so good. He was one of them. He was like a mayfly. He burnt bright very early and then gone.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, Eric, back to back. Greetings from Sweden, Chris. Spot on the entire episode. Please don't hype Enzo Fernandez too much. He's just scored against Brighton, by the way. He was walking every minute until then. He can play in a free role, midfield 3, but he sucks in a midfield 2. He's a luxury player that ain't that good.
I mean, we'll probably talk about it during the game review.
We will.
But I do tend to agree that sometimes I do think goals can mask a performance.
That is true. Sam, firstly, love the podcast. Keep up the good work. So thank you, Sam. This Chelsea team somehow looks worse than last year's despite the additions. We have not looked convincing in a single game this season, apart from against a terrible West Ham team. If it carries on like this with Maresca coaching and playing the most useless dull football ever, this team will end up bottom half of the table. Bloody hell. That's, I'm sorry. I think that's
overreaction, you think?
Bottom of the table, bottom half of the table. I don't think there's too many shit teams in this. Or actually, 3 relegated teams.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there? Because when you look at the table, we're not that far away from the bottom half of the table now.
Well, as it stands, there are 2 teams left to play. It would help if FOTMA bloody loaded. I'll have a look in that. Oh, that's because Firefox has crashed. Of course it has.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, so in a minute, that's going to come back. But I can read the next one out when I look at the table in a minute. It's Jacob with, it's back. With a concrete possibility of us needing a new gaffer at the end of the season, or maybe before, who would you guys like to see replace Maresca if he gets the boot? Before someone kicks off, this is a hypothetical. I'm not saying he needs to go yet.
You know what? it's such a tough question. I think this is why it would be such a difficult decision as to whether to sack Maresca or not, because you'd have to be going for someone who is a guaranteed upgrade.
Roberto De
And who
Zerbi.
and who is out there that is a guaranteed upgrade? It's just the manager market is very shallow now. It's like the striker market.
Yes.
So shallow now. It's
Yeah.
like you sack a manager and you bring another one in, but they're just the same.
Yeah.
You just think, oh, we've just got another shit one. And you just think, well, it's because it's only shit ones left. That's the problem.
Yeah. We're eighth at
like,
the moment as of time recording.
Yeah. Like, even Glasner at Palace done an unbelievable job at Palace. But would it translate?
It's
You
hard
just
to say.
don't know.
It's one of them.
So
it really
again,
is.
until you appointed him, you wouldn't know, and we could be sat here 3 months into his reign, going, "Oh God, what he did at Palace must have been a fluke." You know,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of managers though, hasn't there? Let's be fair. Like over the whole sort of Premier League era, there's been a lot of managers who have managed to do really good things at mid-table clubs, massively overachieve, and then whenever they've got a top job, just failed miserably.
I mean,
It
obviously,
happens all the time.
I'm starting to think that maybe managers do like Fabian Hertzler. He's seen as the next big thing. I'm not being cruel to him. I'm sure he's a great guy, but a bit like Potter, I'm starting to think: is it just the system of Brighton, elevating the manager?
Yeah,
and the manager
absolutely.
because they fit. It's very interesting how they always keep doing okay or well. Doesn't always mean it's actually. Maybe it's just the system. Maybe it is just everything there. Oh, Barry, great work as usual, lads. The only Chelsea pod worth listening to. So what are we going to do about our discipline problem and our manager problem? We've been awful since the West Ham game, and Maresca is proving he's a championship manager and not fit to manage the team. I've never seen such a negative reaction to red cards before. It's like he has no idea how to play with 10 men on the pitch. He needs to go. It's Jose's Benfica and Liverpool next, and I'm dreading it. Much love, Barry. We'll touch on that in the episode, I'm certain.
Yeah.
So AJ, if Maresca was to get was to get the boot, who do you realistically go and get? And do we actually trust the ownership to get it right and go get the right guy to take us forward? Recent appointments don't really fit you with confidence. You just know they'll go for Fabian Hertzler, but would he even leave Brighton for us? Would he view that as an upgrade? Or Oliver Glasner, same argument. We've basically touched on that already. So that's
but they are absolutely right. It's not that we don't want to see Maresca go, but I don't think anyone has faith that we would get the next appointment right.
Correct.
Because look at the people who was on the shortlist before we appointed Maresca.
De Zerbi. Thomas Frank was a win, but I think that was almost like we're looking at people.
Kieran McKenna.
Yeah. Jamali. Yeah. Jamali, I don't want to see Hatto at left back ever again. And El House 75 rounds it off with, we're so fucking dire as a squad right now. If you ever needed to see that this only buying young that won't scale, look at this fucking result. Chalobah still looking for his mum. Thought Hatto actually played well in the first half, but we don't have the composure or experience to know when a back pass will kill you, and also need to know if you can't make the tackle. Try shepherding him to one side and back Sanchez to try and make a save. Well, yeah, some really, honestly, as always, thank you for those reviews, those thoughts, and everything else. You know, of course, if you want yours read out, drop it in the Spotify comments below. And yeah, we'll shout it on the next episode. So with that, we're going to hit some news. Well, we're not, because the charcuterie board of news is bare. There's no news since genuinely.
No news.
This is a disgrace. Where are my transfer rumours? Where are my social media posts from disgruntled players? There was nothing. I was disgusted. I could not believe it. That never happens.
Garnacho hasn't even removed everything Chelsea from his profile yet.
Shocking. I am.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted with it.
But how about positive? We'll go positive. We're going to head to Kingsmeadow Corner because Chelsea women headed, well, kind of across the road to West Ham United. And it ended West Ham 0, Chelsea 4. Bloody hell, quick fire. We'll do our quick fire winners and losers, of course. But Chris, I think I've got to just call this the Aggie Beaver Jones slot. I've got to do it. I'm crowning it because
here every week.
Yeah, she's like me on the show. Here, no matter what.
Yes.
What a goal. I mean, that free kick was perfect. Top corner, untouchable. If you had 6 foot arms, you wouldn't reach that. I might be naive though. Has she ever scored a free kick before?
Not that I remember.
I can't remember. That was just so good. And I'll
Yeah,
drop
it
a
was.
stat for you. She has become the first Chelsea player to score in 5 consecutive league games since herself. She has scored
Wow.
in 77% of her starts for the club. That's the best record of any player for a WSL team in its history.
That's insane,
That's
isn't it?
it's mad.
And once again, opening goal of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Which is what more can you say? It was really,
Quality.
really so good free kick. It was just it reminded me how when I think similar to how she's one of, if not our best player at the moment. And like when
Yes.
Cole Palmer stepped up for a free kick, and you're like, I've never seen him take one, and then he popped top corner, and you're like, yeah, that's about right. That's
Yeah, that's one.
sums up your commitment. That you're how integral you are to the team. I mean,
Yeah.
anything else to say about Aggie before we go to another winner?
No, not really. Just like Mike, you on my losers list, she'll forever be on my winners list until she can't be.
Oh my word! My other winner, I had Alyssa Thompson purely because.
So did I.
Oh, nice! I mean, first start after a couple of cameo sub appearances, and I'm thinking, watch out, WSL, because pace. Oh my word, lights up that field. Once she hits the turbo, she's gone. I mean, that is
Oh, yeah.
amazing. And I just saw this before we recorded. Obviously, she was the reason that Belumu got sent off. Well, you can't pull people's hair.
No,
I can't.
Mark Kukuea knows that.
Yes, and it's just like, what are we doing? What do we do? Come on. It's like, I saw a few comments on Twitter at the time. Now I missed the red for many reasons. I was eating my lunch and I didn't realize the game kicked off early. And I saw the comments going, oh, it's a harsh red. And I'm like, oh, must be. I look at it, it's not a harsh red. Don't know what copium people were having then. No. That wasn't a harsh red. Why was she a winner though for you?
Just looked really lively. Like you said, pace, skill, linked up well. I just thought it was a really positive performance from her. And again, it's another one that we might have to be a little bit patient with before she hits top form. But she's gonna be a player, and I think it's a really good signing.
Oh, definitely. Did you have anyone else on that list of winners?
I had Erin Cuthbert again.
Good goal. Well, very good goal.
Yeah, and just when she's at her best, I think she's the best midfielder in the league. I think she's all round, can just do everything. And I just think when she's on it, we seem to play well. If Cuthbert plays well, the team does, which shows her importance, I think.
Yeah. It obviously we could have so many people on this list. I mean, Hannah Hampton, she didn't do much in the game, but she made fantastic one-on-ones when she needed to. That's what a good goalkeeper does. Millie Bright, very, very good game in the back line.
Yeah.
And who was it? Who was it? How could I dare say that? Vika Kaptein. I mean, an assist and a goal. Positive, energetic. What do you expect? It's a standard Kaptein performance.
Yeah, another very good young player.
It was just a very, very good game. And even actually, you know what? Just thinking about it, and I've just seen my little notes. Cat Mac. I mean, oh, that's a good assist. That was a good assist.
It is a good assist.
And it's nice to see her back after, obviously. Last year was up and down, I think. Maybe because of an injury and stuff like that. But yeah, it's nice to see her doing well. My losers, I kind of just have one. I had Arsenal because it's a rough start for the so-called title contenders, isn't it? 2 draws in a row, 4 points behind us. Spurs are closer than the Gunners are to us. That's just wild.
Wasn't a good weekend for Arsenal.
Not really. I mean, it's a weird start to the WSL. Chelsea just being Chelsea, winning.
Yeah.
Arsenal
obviously.
backfiring a little bit, and Liverpool and West Ham are at the bottom on 0 points. I didn't expect that.
No, it's a little bit of a shocker. Still think it's one of them, isn't it, where the table's still sort of taking shape, I think. I think until sort of 8 to 10 games, I think it'll even itself out then and everyone will be where they should be.
Yeah, and I think it's important to stress that Liverpool have obviously played 1 game less because obviously they had the post moment last weekend. So
yeah, I just think as well, for the other teams, you know that to beat us to the title, you have to be near perfect. So dropping points early in the season really gives you an uphill struggle. And I think sometimes that's where we beat teams mentally.
Yeah, and look, I want us to win it all, of course I do, but it's kind of nice to see a team. It's you always iron sharpens iron. That's why it's always good when you've got a team that's pushing you all the way.
Yeah.
And this year could be one of the Manchester clubs. I'd probably looking at the moment Manchester United, which in a way, like, don't get me wrong, I want us to beat them obviously on Friday and clear the get a nice little gap on the top of the table. But I kind of just hope that Sir Jim doesn't fuck that team over, because it's nice to have a competitive balance in the WSL for the neutral fans.
He will do at some point, though.
Of course he will. But look, we want Chelsea to dominate, of course we do, but we also respect how good competition makes you better. And let's be honest, if we didn't have a rival for the WSL title, we have no excuse almost to improve. And that could cost us in the Champions League, where we don't go, we don't need to step up, I
always say that, though, like, even though we've won so many titles in a row, they've all been close. A lot of them have gone to the final day, so it's still a competitive league. I think even if you're the team who's winning the league, if you're winning it by 10 to 12 points every season, it becomes pointless for everybody.
Well, yeah. That's the thing.
And I think that then would hurt the women's game. So,
yeah,
obviously I want us to win the league, but I'd rather us win the league on the final day than by 12 points.
I fully agree with that. And it makes it more exciting for like the neutral fans, which brings more people in.
Exactly.
Anyone else losers for you?
No, I didn't really have anyone from today, to be honest.
It's hard when it's 4-0.
Yeah, and
everyone's smiling.
It was one of our better performances of the season. It was
true.
Looked a more complete performance today. Still a few times in transition, got caught out a little. But definitely looked better than it has on the past couple of games.
I think it was much better than the previous game against Leicester.
Not that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was not a very low bar, that was. Right, we will, of course, now head to our winners and losers as we welcomed our next batch of potential summer signings to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's Saturday matinee at Stamford Bridge had all the trappings of a feel-good flick, until the third act turned into a horror sequel you didn't ask for. Enzo Fernandez's soaring header was the early soundtrack, a moment of slick, one-touch harmony that had many home fans thinking this young side had shaken off last week's Old Trafford hangover. The nutmegs, the zigzag runs, the Reece James free kick, it felt alive, a Chelsea movie with a happy ending penciled in. Then came the plot twist. A dreadful back pass left Trevor Chalobah sprinting like a man, chasing his bus, lunging from behind to stop Diego Gomez. VAR played the villain. Red card! Script flipped. From there, Chelsea's slicked act turned slapstick. Welbeck popped up like a Marvel cameo to head Brighton level. Then De Kuyper wandered in, unmarked, to nod home deep in stoppage time, before Danny Welbeck smashed the credits roll with his second. Brighton 3, Chelsea 1. Chelsea fans were exiting early, again. Another match where a red card left Enzo Maresca grasping for answers. And another reminder that this team's third act composure still needs a rewrite. Chelsea 1. Brighton 3. Oh no, we're here again. Oh, winners and losers. And of course, who have you got? But how many have you got?
I've got 3.
Oh.
And 4.
Wow, I've got 2 and 5. Listener, you just heard that right. I have less losers, more losers, and less winners than Chris. So do not say he's negative. That's me. I'm negative. I'm the negative. I'm the negative puppy today. Right, actually, who is one of your first winners?
Caicedo.
Well, he might not be if he gets a ban.
Well, yeah, but
or arrest. I guess that's arrest.
I thought for large parts of the game he was really good. Again, in a midfield that was very open, I thought he put out a lot of fires, which stopped Brighton really having a chance until they scored the first goal. I thought a lot of that was down to Caicedo and not many other players, to be honest.
No, well, that's a very fair point. I think I didn't know, obviously, what happened with Van Heck until it was posted on Twitter, and I saw it and thought it's impossible. Apparently VAR did look at that and went, we don't see anything, but who knows? It could be people shit stirring to try and cause clickbait and stuff. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure if VAR reviewed it at the time, it can't be retrospectively looked at.
Who knows? They change it as they go. We'll see.
Yeah,
Howard Webb and Michael Owen, Monotone Mike, will be doing a show this week about that.
But then, to be fair, we are playing Liverpool next, and they want Liverpool to win the league, so we'll probably get a suspension.
Yeah, yeah. He gets his rest. He finally gets a day off.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I go to the Brighton bank account because Chelsea might as well open a direct debit to Tony Bloom. I mean, we've bought their players, their staff. We're probably 2 weeks away from sending a blank check marked for future goods and services. Will it? Hey, I don't know, Chris. Will it be Jan-Paul van Heck in January, Jan Kuban Minter in the summer, Danny Welbeck maybe, or Fabian Hertzler in what surely will be a 20-figure fee for a manager? Oh man, it does feel like the Blueco model is, if in doubt, go shopping at the Amex. It blows my mind. It really does, because you could see him smiling the whole time, and you're looking around going, "We've bought so many of your players."
Yeah.
And you still beat us.
Yeah.
But like you said, Caicedo was quite decent. And I've heard not many people say that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's hard sometimes to pick out a winner. I think a lot of people will only remember the game for the last 10 minutes. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, that's a good point. The thing is, it was a Caicedo game where he just puts out fires, recovers the ball, turns it back, turns the possession over to us, obviously. And because we're so used to him doing it, and maybe, to be fair, N'Golo Kante didn't really get a lot of credit for what he did.
No,
it's
because when players are so when players are so consistent, it just becomes expected, and then they almost don't get praised for it, even though they should be, because it's still amazing what they're doing.
We touched on that as well when it was the last winners and losers for the Kingsmeadow Corner. Not this episode, but a couple of episodes ago. Hannah just had a standard game, kept out what she needed to keep out of the net, and people were like, "Nah," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that is literally the job," and she's been perfect. If you keep a clean sheet, you've been perfect. That's your job. Yeah, you got to give credit to it. Who's your second?
Josh Achiampong.
Okay.
Didn't come on in the easiest of circumstances, obviously, but actually thought he played pretty well. There was a couple of stray passes where you thought, "Oof, that's not good." But I thought generally he defended pretty well. Was quite aggressive in winning the ball back, but controlled with it as well. I just thought as a cameo, I don't think it was too bad, given the circumstances he was coming on into as well.
Okay. I'll go with my final winner. It's you. Honestly, you are my winner. You are our podcast prophet, because sometimes, sometimes you're just a genius. You warned us. You warned us all summer long. You said you were happy, you celebrated, but you said don't get carried away with the Club World Cup. You went, Maresca hasn't proven it yet, and Twitter called you negative. They called you a hater. They called you a clown. Not our words. That was the mob of Twitter. Chelsea are wobbling. You look less like a skeptic now, more like the Oracle. It's true.
Well, yeah,
I got carried away. I put us as the winners.
See, it's the old saying, isn't it? Don't get too high when you win. Don't get too low when you lose.
Yeah, that is, yeah. I mean, what foolish of me. We're going to do the Champions League and the Premier League double. If that happens, wow, what a turnaround we're going to have.
The thing is, sometimes as a fan, you have to get carried away, but I just think it's important that somebody at some point says, let's just calm down a little. I don't like the massive overreactions to stuff. I think that's the key. It's the same with players, isn't it? A player will come in, they'll score 2 goals, and all of a sudden they're world class and should be winning player of the season. And you just think, okay, let's calm down a minute. He scored 2 goals. Yeah. No, I always hark back to the one thing that obviously we only know really about Chelsea fans. I don't overly follow other fan bases really, but I think the thing that sums the Chelsea fan base up was Armando Broja. went to Southampton, scored 6 goals, and everyone went, he's got to be our starting striker. He will be world class. He will solve our striker problem for 10 years. Get him in, get him starting, give him the minutes. He'll be world class. Absolutely dog shit.
Wow.
And that was all that all of those opinions came because he scored 6 goals at Southampton. When you actually looked at it deep down, you thought, well, firstly, 6 goals isn't amazing, and secondly, those 6 goals came in a 4-week spell. After that, he didn't score a goal.
Well, yeah,
that's the concern.
That's true. That's true. Who was your final winner for me?
Danny Welbeck.
Oh, he's so. How is he? Is this the 17th season he scored in a consecutively or something like that? I've read.
I don't know how he does it.
That's
I was
mad.
watching the game with my dad. Seeing him putting his top on, and I said, "He's scoring."
He always does.
And then he scored twice, and I couldn't believe. I thought at this point, let's just buy him, just so he can't score past us.
I'm just looking. I'm pretty sure he scored because obviously he made his debut when he was 17. So
it feels like he's scored past us every single time I've seen him.
1, 2, 3, 4. He then goes 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, hang on, is he on loan there? Yeah, 17 seasons. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah, mad, isn't it?
Wow. I mean, well, he's consistent. And you know what's ironic? His best season was 9 in 25 for Man United in 2013-14. He's never done more than that. But he said this is his this is Brighton. Oh, actually, 10 in 30 kind of works out similar. So Brighton, it's 6, 6, 6, 5, 10, and 2 so far. It probably all against us.
Yeah, I was going to say at least half those goals that he scored for Brighton are against us.
Yeah, we sign him up. Right, losers, and look, listeners. I know, and it's not going to be the most positive, uplifting. We try to balance it, but sometimes hard talk. It has to happen. My first loser was Enzo Maresca's mentality. That's what I've gone.
He's on mine.
Not just
for his mentality. He's on there in general, but I agree with what you're going to say. Yeah.
But look. There's pragmatism. There is, and then there's parking the bus at home to Brighton. Chalobah's red card. Maresca's reaction. He's done this again. Was instant. A champon for Santos. I understand that, but then it's gusto for Esteban, and now we're in minute 63. We're playing 5 at the back. This is what wound me up, and I'm not going to get too ranty. 5 at the back against Brighton at Stamford Bridge. We were at Stamford Bridge. We were not away from home in a tough atmosphere against this elite level team. We were at home in our own backyard to Brighton, who are a good team, not elite. And the manager has instantly signalled there, we are playing for a point. And you've said this before, and I'll echo it. Once you send that signal that you're playing for a point, in my opinion, you've already lost the game mentally.
Yeah.
Because I watched poor João Pedro again. Bring him off. Not on him. I'm not having a go at him. João Pedro should come off because he was left stranded up top again like Tom Hanks in Castaway. And then, oh my word, then you had Lavia on for Neto and that just cemented it. Cemented it for me. That's not a bold move.
That made it even worse, didn't it?
Look, I looked at this and I just thought that whole thing in a capsule, I thought, that's not bold, it's cowardly. It was such a cowardly decision. And I hate to say it, but it screams small club mentality. If we were against Bayern Munich, right, and we played that, I get it. Because we're in the Allianz, Bayern, I get it. We're down to 10. But we're at Brighton at home. I mean, no.
Again, it's just being negative for the sake of being negative. You're almost, for me, I said this to you a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember whether it was on air or off air about the Cesc Fabregas interview.
Off air,
where he talks. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, where he talks about. If anyone who hasn't heard it, go and find it. I think it was a Sky Sports interview. He talks about the mentality of if you're winning a game by a goal, the minute you bring on an extra defender, you're telling your team to defend. Even if you don't do it, your signal is we are defending now. And subconsciously, your players will drop 10 to 15 yards deeper in the pitch. And so basically in this interview, he was saying that's why he doesn't do it, because he prefers his teams to be more front foot and more positive. And there's different ways to protect a lead than just sink back into your own box and hope. Maresca's response seems to be that he tells these players, you can't win with 10 men. You
Correct.
can't win this game with 10 men. As soon as we go down to 10, we're fucked. Because what's going to happen here is I'm going to have to take off every single attacker we have, and I'm going to bring on every single defender and defensive midfielder we've got, and I'm just going to hope and pray that we see this one out. The more unforgivable thing for me was when he took Neto off and he brought Lavia on. He put Enzo Fernandez, arguably one of the slowest players we have, on the left wing. What are you doing? What is he going to do out there? He's going to do absolutely nothing out there. And then, so managers, sometimes as a coach, you make a decision and you live or die really by your own sword. So I've made a decision to try and win this game. And if it works, everyone will say, brilliant move. And if it doesn't, everyone will go, that was a mistake. That's kind of the job. But he went to a back five and we conceded 2 goals from crosses. That shouldn't happen. We conceded 2 unmarked headers in a back five. How? How are they unmarked in the box when we've got a back five? Also, I don't know whether you noticed this or whether you picked up on this. The amount of times Minter got the ball on the left-hand side completely unmarked. Again, we've got a back five. How is he unmarked? Who are you marking? If you're in a back five and their wingers free, who are you marking? I don't understand where you've gone.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I just think, again, it boiled down to Maresca telling these players, we can't win this game. He doesn't know how to play with 10 men. He's not brave enough. He's not bold enough. I don't think he has enough belief in this squad that they can get results when they're up against it. I just don't know what he's doing at the minute. I really don't. It seems like he's lost the plot, and I don't know what's happened, what the turnaround has been, what the switch has been, but the results have been awful. And it always concerns me. I think sometimes we'll go through periods where the results won't be good, but maybe you're playing well and you're just not getting the results. So you can look at it and think, well, the results will turn around because the performances are there. Sometimes you go through bad spells where you think the manager's doing everything they can here, really, and the players are letting him down. What concerns me most is I think during this spell we've looked at Maresca more than anybody, and that's the concern, because he's the one who's meant to turn it round, but it's his fault.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So leading into my second loser, it's Trevor Chalobah's red card comedy special. Oh, it started. You know what? It started with a nothing pass backwards to Andre Santos from Trevor. It did. Matoma smelt blood. Very good player. He presses like a man possessed. Santos takes a touch heavier than a Sunday roast. And Diego Gomez, fresh off his beautiful hat-trick of the week, he's in. He's through. Chalobah, in full firefighter mode, sipes him down like he's auditioning for the SmackDown at WWE. I mean, look, you got to wake up, mate. You got to wake up. Have a look around you. It's a chain reaction of bad decisions there. Trevor's lit the fuse at the top of it. Santos has not done himself any glory. And then I saw it today. I can't remember who the player was, whether it was Millie Bright or Bjorn. I can't even remember the player, but I can remember the moment. West Ham were through one-on-one with Hannah. There's a Chelsea defender to the left, and you know what that defender did? Tried to push them to the right, didn't make a tackle though. Just made themselves a nuisance because they thought, I can't catch this person. I can't catch him. But if I take her down, it's the last player. I'm getting sent off. I trust Hannah. Now you could say, do we trust Sanchez? I trust him to shot stop. That's kind of, and we keep messing this up. We keep not paying attention, and we're going, yeah, I'll take him out. What are you doing? You know what's going to happen now. Oh, so annoying.
is I also had the Chalobah red card, and I had it because let's look at it right from the start of this incident. So this incident, by the way, we concede this goal from a uncontested drop ball that is in our possession, 30 yards inside their half. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the ball is dropped to Enzo Fernandez, 30 yards inside their half, uncontested drop ball. Do we keep the ball in that half and play forwards? No, we do not. He immediately turns round and plays it backwards. Right now, you've changed the momentum of what's happening now. So instead of Brighton being pegged back in, they're now pressing out. Then Chalobah gives it to Santos. Santos takes an absolutely horrendous touch. It gets nicked. Chalobah then makes the same mistake Sanchez made against Man United and doesn't think with his fucking brain and think, I'm just going to let him go through and score. And we'll just play 11v11 and, it'll be fine. He thinks, no. What I'm going to do is I'll trip him over. And a bit like what you were just saying, really, about backing Sanchez to make the save. I think that's part of the problem. I don't think the team do have confidence in each other more than anything. I think if that's Liverpool, I think Van Dijk just lets Gomez go through one-on-one and backs Alisson to make the save. And doesn't panic because he backs his goalkeeper to make saves that he shouldn't make. I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that confidence in Sanchez. So I think that's why our defenders act so erratically, because they don't have belief in their goalkeeper. But it all, again, comes back to Enzo Fernandez passes that ball backwards because it's a safe pass. It's a safe possession keeping pass. And that mentality comes from the manager, that we play back and round first and then we'll go forward. I just think it's a calamity of errors that starts with Enzo making the wrong decision to play backwards, Santos having a trampoline on his foot, Chalobah then acting erratically and not using any composure in his defending, and it completely changes the game. But it's a sign of a poor team when you see error after error after error. And it's a sign of lack of leadership, that there's no one there who's going to pull them out of a problem. Once one person makes a mistake, the next person can't. But we just see mistake.
Yeah, I've just checked it back. It's Sandy Baltimore. Theon Morgan's through on goal. No one around. But Sandy's just to the left. But in a left rear view vision to say, you're going to have to go to the right a bit here because I'm coming straight for your left-hand side. And Hannah makes the save. That was perfect. That was exactly what you do. Sandy doesn't need to do a slice tackle. No, trust your keeper. Come on. It's basic defending. It is. I know it sounds on. For me, I don't play football at a top level, but I can't imagine, Chris, as a coach, you go, when that player's through on goal, slice them up,
No, you don't. It's but like crazy. You were saying, the difference is that Sandy will have confidence that Hannah can make that save.
Yes.
Chalobah probably doesn't have that confidence in Sanchez, which is why having a top keeper is so important.
How many memes have we got of Trevor Chalobah just staring at Sanchez?
Exactly.
That's yeah. You know what? I will go for my third, and it's just the Equalizer, not the film. No, not.
Good film.
Nothing towards Denzel Washington. No. This was textbook self-destruction on Chelsea's behalf. Gusto was absolutely cooked alive by Minter. I mean, Minter was incredible all game. I warned you on the Thursday show. Champong does a shoulder check on Welbeck. Brilliant. Love that. Then he ball watches. And that ball watching for that split set, which, he's 19. He's going to learn. He's going to grow from it. I'm not going to be too harsh here, but it left Welbeck unmarked. Simplest finish of the season. And it was basic defending undone by basic mistakes. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got, and that's not me being too harsh on a Champon, because I'm not going to be too harsh, because he does do the first thing right. But then he goes, oh, ball. Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's over. But again, he's a young defender. If that was from Wesley Fofana, I'd be fuming because he's a more
100%.
experienced player. But for Champong, you know what? Made a mistake. It cost us, but you know what? It's all right. It's all right. Who's one of your losers?
Pedro Neto.
Oh, okay.
Now, again, there's so many players in this game that you could have gone for, and there's the really obvious ones. Yeah, some of which we spoke about already. I just want to talk about Pedro Neto because the amount of times we got him in behind in this game, used his pace, and his end product was absolutely fucking woeful. No good cross, no good shot, no good pass, didn't make the right decision, shot when he should have passed when he should have shot. He works really hard, Neto, but that's not going to win you football matches. It's just not. Having hard-working wingers, that's great if you're fighting relegation. But that is not going to get you anywhere near a Premier League title. Your attackers have to have output, not work rate. Yeah, if you can get them to have both, fantastic. But let's face it, that's pretty rare that you get attackers with fantastic work rate and fantastic output. You have one or the other, and I'd rather have the output because I always feel a little bit sorry for Neto, and I've said this on here before, when I think we don't use or play to his strengths. So when you're playing slow possession-based football against a team that's camped in, that's not going to suit Neto. That's not his strengths. So I always give him some leeway there. But in this game, we released him so many times in behind, utilising his pace, and he fucked it up. The one where he went through and he ended up having like a cross shot type thing, and he dragged it about 15 yards wide, and it was like, what the fuck is that? That is dog shit. Like, I don't understand anymore why we keep praising these players for doing the bare minimum. You know, everyone's like, well, Neto's got to play because he works really hard. Well, that's the bare minimum I ask. But what does he actually do? Because if he's working really hard, but he's not having any effect at the top end of the pitch, I'll put him at left back then.
Yeah.
I want, play as a fullback. If you're hard working but shit at the top end, play as a fullback. If you're going to be an attacker, got to have some numbers at some point.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing. Not disagreeing. I will move to my fourth loser. Goal number 3. The self-destruct button returns. If you wanted a textbook example, everyone listening, Chris, if you wanted a textbook example of how not to play out from the back, this was perfect. This will be in Guardiola's manifesto this week. It will be, because Sanchez rolls a hospital pass. I love these. I love saying hospital pass. Hospital pass to Reece James. He hasn't even glanced over his shoulder, this guy.
Minter's he's not looking, is he?
He's not looking. Minter is already closing down like a heat-seeking missile. He's done it all game. You're probably going to assume he's doing it again. James, he panics. He pokes it to a Champong. He looks like he's searching for his mum. He's like, oh, I didn't expect this. And then, oh no. Oh dear. He feeds a stationary, and he was stationary, completely switched off Lavia. He feeds the ball to him. Brighton just sliced through that like it's an open train drill. Pass, goal. Honestly, your local Sunday League side would have been mortified to concede that one, and they probably defend it with more organisation than that Chelsea backline did. It was so comically poor. That was a Chelsea. This is a Premier League team. The Dog and Pheasant team don't do that. Why the hell is a Premier League team doing it? It was. Lavia does look like a player who hasn't played in a long time. He really did. Just completely switched off.
It was a calamity from start to finish, wasn't it? That, like you said, I mean,
so
you got Robert Sanchez putting the ball down and kicking it to someone who weren't even looking at him.
Yeah.
Catches Reece James completely by surprise, who then again doesn't save the situation by just hitting an area. Thinks, no. What I'll do is probably the best idea here is to play back into where it's just come from, despite the fact that I've got no idea what's going on there because I weren't looking.
No.
But I'll play it back there anyway and hope for the best.
Everyone messed up.
Yeah, the calamity of errors afterwards, and you just think again, it's just a lack of leadership in this team. It stares you in the face sometimes. Yes, sometimes we look like a young, exciting team, and you can see flashes of what this team could be. But then there's far too many occasions where we look like a youth team playing in an adults league. It's so inexperienced. My brother was watching the game with me and my dad, and he's not a Chelsea fan. He's a Villa fan. And he made a really great point on that third goal. So we've watched it, and the goal's gone in, and we're talking about the goal, and he says, "You're 2-1 down. Why is Robert Sanchez playing that short anyway? You're 2-1 down. You're trying to get back in the game, and you're still trying to play out from the back. Just kick it long, mate."
Well, we know why.
Brighton have just been on the attack, so they're out of shape. So just kick it long. I mean, the answer is why he didn't kick it long is because there was nobody up there, because they was all sat on the bench, weren't they?
Yeah,
every single attacker we own was on the bench or in the stands. We only had defenders on the pitch, so that's why he didn't kick it long. But again, it's just a naivety. I don't know what to say about it anymore. We just make mistake after mistake after mistake, and it just seems as though as soon as one person makes a mistake, everyone just goes, "Oh, gonna fuck it up as well." Then I'm not bailing you out.
Yeah, it's just absolutely bizarre. It really was, and I think Ollie might have crashed out of the game by then. I don't know. Poor guy. I don't know how he'd have felt seeing that, because it was just so bad.
Don't think Robert Sanchez covers himself in glory with the goal, with the finish either.
Oh no, I did.
He sort of comes out to close down Welbeck, and then sort of doesn't do anything, and just sort of stands up and lets him put it in the net. And you think, do something.
Yeah. How many losers do you have left?
One.
Go for it, because I don't think we'd have the same one.
No, you know mine is Mark Yu.
Yeah.
Another game. He turned up. He bought a little shower bag with him. He bought all his kit. He's got himself nicely dressed. He's taped up. He's sat. He's ready. He's raring. And then he goes back in the dressing room, takes it all off, folds it up neatly, and puts it back away again.
With the time he's got,
doesn't need to be washed because it ain't been worn yet.
With the time he's got spare, he could help Chalobah find his mum.
Yeah, he could.
Look,
he really could.
Someone did message, a few people messaged me actually. Well, us as a show, and saying, why isn't he playing? I'm telling you, I know why he's not playing. I'm deadly serious here. He's not playing because if he plays for 2 clubs in a single season, he can't play for a third. And I believe we loan him out in January.
Absolutely.
That is why I would, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Biscuit bet. He will go out on loan in January and not play a single game for Chelsea this calendar year. And if that happens, I hope my biscuits go off, because I don't want that to come in, because that would be the most pointless recall I've ever seen. You might as well have recalled him in the January and then loaned him out again. Let him have those games with Sunderland, because they're flying. Yeah.
Doesn't it scream, though, again, a bit like with the whole cup fiasco of us not knowing what the rules are, that we didn't seem to know that was a rule until we'd already bought him back, and then someone with some knowledge went, you realise if he plays for us, we can't get rid of him in January because he can't play for another club. And then they went, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, we can't play him then.
It's just...
And everyone's gone, oh, this is pointless. Then it should have left him at Sunderland. Yeah, he should have, really.
You remember, then oh man, it's coming back to bite us. Well, not us. The ownership, when they said, oh, we were so poorly run commercially, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I feel like if that's the case, okay, nice shirt sponsor we've got, by the way. Loving that shirt sponsor we have. I would also add then, if that's the case, why are we so poorly managed in the actual football side then, all of a sudden, that we don't know rules? I mean, we know loopholes. We know loads of them, but we don't know.
Oh, we love a loophole.
Rules. It's like, what are we... What? Right, I will go for my final loser, and it's Benoit Badiashil's playground moment, because the 89th minute, tensions are high. I get it. We've had the Caicedo incident. That whether, nothing's going to happen, apparently, he won't get a ban. Benoit Badiashile now decides it's time to square up to Lewis Dunk like he's been insulted at the playground gates. It all started, I'm sure people remember, because he hauled up Jan-Paul van Heck for no reason whatsoever. I don't know why he's even doing that. Chaos has ensued now. Oh, it's all over. Oh, we've lost it. Emotions are high. Logic is always low. I always say that. And a mini brawl has now erupted. Both him and Dunk are showcasing the classic stick 50p in the dickhead meter mentality. Oh, look at me, I'm tougher. Robert Sanchez, fair play. Fair play. He's the only one acting like an adult in this room. He drags Badiashile out the way, giving him a clear verbal dressing down. Fair play. Thank you, Rob. That was smart. Centre-backs are a rare commodity for Chelsea at the moment. You've got Chalobah suspended. It's one game, but still. And injuries are piled up. We know Fofana's out. We know Tosin's out. Colwell's out for the whole season. Badiashile's petulance there could have landed him a straight red. Just could have easily. Grow up. Grow up, Benoit. You're 24 years old. You're supposed to be one of the more grown-up players in this team. And I was genuinely fuming at that, because if he'd have got sent off, that would have probably arguably been for violent conduct. So that would have been a 3-game ban. Who's playing? We've got a Champong. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Who's playing? We've got Hato. Yeah, but that's not the point. We got who comes in. We are so ill-disciplined. And we have been, for the last 3 seasons, at the bottom or second from bottom of the fair play table. This season, we're bottom of it. It's almost like we have a team full of immature kids with no senior experience figures suddenly.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's what Thiago Silva leaves and suddenly no one can behave.
I feel as though it's the way this team believes that you show fight and heart and desire.
That's annoying.
Is by doing that sort of stuff. When actually that isn't, mate. The way you do that is by winning football games when you're down to 10 men and you don't shit the bed and concede 3 goals in about 8 minutes. That's fans would prefer to see, us win that game 1-0 and see it out with some excellent defending, where you're all slapping each other's chests every time we give a corner away. That's what we want to see. I don't want to see you having a little scrap when we're 3-1 down because you've threw your toys out the pram like a toddler who's been told they can't have any sweets. It comes down to it again, doesn't it? Leadership or lack thereof. I don't think there's a leader on the pitch, and I don't think there's one in the dugout either. Yeah, remember the Fulham game when we was all talking about, we knew we'd won when Marco Silva completely lost his head after the goal was disallowed.
Yes.
Lack of leadership. Yeah. And we won that day because Marco Silva completely lost his head. I think Maresca's head's gone. But in a different way. I don't see any leadership from him. And then that translates onto the pitch where we don't have any leaders, but you keep signing players under the age of 24. I don't know what you're expecting. It can't be a shock to anybody. Everyone always talks about how important leaders were in a team. When you look at all of the great teams, they all had leaders in it, all experienced leaders as well, who had been round the block. You had at least 1 or 2 in there who had been there, done it, knew what it was about, would rein in the younger kids when they got carried away. We don't have that. And I think that's why we see our form so fluctuating. I think like when we get on a good run of form, all these young lads get super excited about being the best team in the world, but then we'll lose a game and all of a sudden it's, oh, for fuck's sake, we're shit. And then we'll go on a really bad run because nobody stops them getting up really high when we win and no one pulls them up from the real low when we've lost a couple.
Yeah, Thiago Silva was so good at that leadership. And the thing is, I've seen some people playing devil's advocate saying leadership can be an experience, but it doesn't need to be someone over 26, 27. You grow up together and it's you're all it's like, yes, but if you're all immature and you're all growing at the same time and there's no one who's mature enough to lead you, you're all going to have that same attitude and it won't work. One thing that used to annoy me about Kai Havertz was that whole, I'm going to show fight by having a scrap with someone. I'm like, what are you what are you doing? Stop it. That doesn't, it's pointless.
And the thing is as well, like, just think about in your sort of day-to-day life, if you let's say you're 24 years old at work, right? If somebody in a leadership position was your age or younger, would you pay as much attention to them as someone who was in their 30s? Probably not. Because you'd think, well, hold on, mate. You're the same age as me. So why are you telling me what to do? Why should I listen to you? Because you've got the same experience as I have. Whereas when somebody older talks, you think, well, okay, they've been here a long time, they've done this, they've done that, they've got life experience. Maybe it's worth listening to them a bit more.
It's so frustrating. Whether we do sign some experienced players, we have no idea. It would be unlikely, but again, we really, really don't know. What we do know is we have an emoji to review. I went with back-to-back shrugs because I just have to do my classic of what are we doing? Look, what are we doing? Oh,
I'm gonna go with the laughing emoji because it's at a point where if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah, that would be. I did, to be fair, I'm not one of those. I'm not a person that gets annoyed by a game when it's finished. I'm usually over it. I've moved on. I'm walking away. But that really did live with me for a good hour after that game. I was really fuming. I was so fuming because it was like, I'm not a football manager, and yet I'm seeing these silly little errors and we're capitulating. What are we doing? Yeah. Right. Well, we'll look at our Lions. Bloody hell. Can we do this? But we have to. Back-to-back Lions where we feel like there probably shouldn't be one. No winners. Neto, Esteval, João Pedro, and Andre Santos. I don't think any one of those get it. And actual Lion of the week, who the hell would it be?
Well, I think Caicedo was probably our best player. He was far from perfect, but I think he was probably our best player on the day.
He's on it. He's now on the list. We will, of course, move to our good old match preview because we've got a midweek game. As I'm struggling for time. There it is. We are having a quiet one. Oh, Chelsea are taking on Benfica in the Champions League. So here is that scoop. They are third place in the Liga Portugal. 5 wins, 2 draws, no defeats. Unbeaten. 3 wins, 2 draws is the recent top 5 game form. Player spotlight. Forget it. No. I'm doing it a rare one. Jose Mourinho is the spotlight because I'm not messing about here. Not messing about. Forget about the players. Jose Mourinho back at the bridge. With Maresca under pressure, all eyes will be on Mourinho. How the fans react to him, and I'm calling it now. I will back-to-back biscuit betting. We will hear chants of Jose Mourinho and Roman Abramovich on Tuesday. I'm certain of it. I've lost my voice. I was that certain.
We'll definitely hear chants of Mourinho. I think the minute we start losing this game, that will start.
Yeah, it's blowing me away that I saw some people say, "Oh, will he get a boo because he was manager of Spurs and United?"
Definitely not.
It just he's the greatest manager of the men's team's history. You're not booing that man. You are not booing that man. By the way, there's a little bit. I'm not doing the breaking news drops. It's pointless. But Matt Law has just gone. Maresca retains the full faith of the Chelsea board and sporting directors. Chelsea's aim remains to finish inside top 4 and have a run in the cups. A run in the cups. Not win them, or a run.
Fucking hell.
There is no panic over the mini slump, particularly after the much bigger slump Maresca and his team recovered from last season. Lovely. As we were then, nothing's changing. We could lose the next 3. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Oh, dear. Oh, who are we going to go for this Champions League? Who's available? Who can play?
Oh, yeah. It's a good point.
Fucking
hell. Who are we actually going to pick here?
I'm not going to pick Esteval or Pedro Neto because if we get a red card, they'll be subbed again. So I've been
no point.
And I've been stung by that. So the wheel's gone Levi Colwill. So that's comical. Nice one.
Good
I like
start.
that. Yeah, great. Nice one, Wheel.
I'm going to go Mark Cucurella.
Oh, the wheel has copied you. Okay, that's logical. I can agree with that. I can agree with Mark Cucurella for the wheel. You know, who plays? Who plays? You know what? Big stage. I'm going Esteval.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. Right. Match preview ends with our Blue versus Who. I think this will be quite easy. to a degree. I've got first question.
We'll see.
Who is Benfica's record purchase?
Ooh.
44 million euros they spent on this particular player.
How long ago?
2022.
Oh, so quite recent.
It's not an obscure name. It's not someone you go, who? No. Not obscure.
Benfica. You don't hear much about Portuguese signings, though, do you?
Oh, you do about this player. You've never seen a profit like this in 6 months.
Is it Enzo Fernandez?
It is indeed from River Plate. What a profit that was. 6 months. They're like, yes, a great World Cup. Oh, come on.
And the thing is, they overpaid for him in the first place.
A lot of money. They paid a lot for Darwin Núñez. He was their second record signing. And they were like, because he was in La Liga 2 at the time from Almere, and people were like,
and then they made good money on him as well. Then,
yeah, they're very good at selling. Number 2, Chelsea beat Benfica 2-1 in the 2013 Europa League final. Who beat Benfica in the following year's final 4-2 on penalties after the game ended 0-0 at extra time?
Good question. I'm just going to go with the team who kept winning it every year, Sevilla.
You'd be correct. Oh, yes, you would. And do you know a former Blue was playing for that Sevilla team?
Was it?
Oh.
No.
Some call him the German Messi.
Marco Marin.
Oh, yes. Marco Marin was in that team.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, what a throwback. Oh,
Remember him?
Wait, I remember him in the gold Chelsea kit. So did he win back-to-back? Oh, my word. I'm going to have to check that. I think he won back-to-back Europa Leagues.
Well, you don't get told the German Messi for nothing.
Wow, did he actually win back-to-back? He did. He won back-to-back Europa. What a legend. What a legend
of the game.
I didn't even realise that. That's amazing. Right, and now put these former Blue players in order of when they first joined Benfica. So the first time they joined them. We've got Nemanja Matic, we've got Manish, we've got David Luiz, Ramirez, and La Liga, very visitor La Liga host, Scott Minto. Oh, I love Scott. He's great.
Scott Minto's got to be first.
No.
Really?
Yeah. He's second.
So he's second.
Think about when we signed them.
We signed David Luiz in 2011.
We did.
Can't remember. Ramirez, was he the same year? Was he the year later?
Well, this player was 17 when he joined Benfica in 1995.
Is it Manish?
It is indeed.
First.
Before he went to Porto. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had him in like 05, didn't we, or something?
We did on loan from Dynamo Moscow. So yeah, we got Manish in 95. We've got Scott Minto 98. Who are the next three?
I reckon it's got to be then. Oh, it's Matic or David Luiz next, I reckon.
You'd be correct on one of those.
Kind of think when we first had Matic, because we had him, sold him, then brought him again. So I'm going to go Matic third.
Okay.
David Luiz fourth.
Okay.
Ramirez fifth.
Well, David Luiz was third in 2006, Ramirez 2009, Matic 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite the it's quite surprising when you think. You're like, okay, I was quite surprised about Manish. I was like, really? Damn.
I can't believe Ramirez was there for that long, to be honest.
I know. Right, we'll go Christmas questions quickly before we round off the show. I've got Ericsson, nice one. You've gone with, is it enough? Sack the... I won't read the next bit. Sack Maresca. Well, we now know, no pressure on him at all because, you know, Yeah, why not? Ericsson again. Is the structure and the system Maresca wants us to play really feasible? It was possible 10 years ago. I think the game's just changing. I think even Guardiola's had to change because tiki taka just doesn't work. You have to, like when it was like the Gegenpress from like Bundesliga.
Yeah.
It changes. You have to adapt and evolve.
You do. And I think the biggest alarm bells for any possession-based coach out there should have been when Guardiola gave up possession to Man United to win the game.
Yeah. I've got Sweeter Minhas who's gone with, we have 4 attackers on the bench and we continue to bring on defenders. Why? Cowardly. It was cowardly. That's why. Let's be honest.
To win the game, obviously.
Leicester City
that will happen
mentality.
at some point.
Yeah, Leicester City mentality there.
One of these days, we'll go down to 10 men and Maresca will bring on Gusto and Lavia and a centre-back and we'll win the game and he'll go, see, I am a genius.
Yes. And we'll round it off with Nathan, who went with, would it be valid to put this team's lack of discipline solely on Maresca? I would say he's kind of the head teacher, so he has to sort of act his authority. But again, we have a bunch of kids in the squad.
Yeah.
It's a mixture.
You can't solely place it on Maresca.
No, I
definitely not solely. But what I am going to say is teams with ill-discipline problems generally don't have a massive amount of fear or respect for the gaffer.
That's a good point, actually.
Because if you did, then you'd be very careful about how you tread discipline-wise. And I don't ever really see Maresca calling these players out for their ill discipline.
I mean, he should, but he won't.
Oh, he should. He should by now, 100%. Because the amount of it, really, he should have done it last season, shouldn't he, with Jackson when he kept getting booked all the time. And, Enzo Fernandez got booked a lot last year for arguing with the ref and dissent. And you just think, you need to rein that in. But again, it's almost being over defensive of your players, like, oh yeah, they're just showing this and they're just no, it's not good enough. Stop getting booked, mate.
Yeah. I mean, he can act all strong, but we dissed Poch. But Poch, remember the Jackson Madueke incident where Gallagher stepped in?
Yeah,
Poch was bloody livid. He was.
Yeah, he was.
And he came out straight away, and I've got the quote, I prepared for this. He put, I told the players in the dressing room, we can't behave in this way. I told them this is the last time I will accept this type of behaviour. They're all involved in this situation. Next time, they're all out. This is not a joke. That's what it is. We can mock Pochettino for his shortcomings, but he made his point, and he was like, yeah, you do it again. Bye.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right, well, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you, of course, for tuning in. I know we're trying. Well, hopefully, we'll have a positive thing on Thursday. We've beat Benfica. It's all good again. We hope so. We do, because it's always good when we talk positive, of course. And of course, before we go, don't forget we're proudly partnered with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football, sport, wellbeing community. You can, of course, find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. So treat yourself well. We'll be back Thursday. We'll talk through those winners and losers from Benfica. Hopefully it'll be all positive. So until next time, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.